everyone, welcome back to MCM Outdoors. I was meant to be going on a wild camp tonight. It's going to be my first wild camp post-lockdown, but the weather is absolutely appalling, and whilst many of you might say, well, what's that got to do with anything, I really want to enjoy the first one, and I'm looking forward to. I wanted to sit outside my tent, take some pictures and stuff, and it's absolutely lashing it down outside, so I'm going to see what the weather's like on my next couple of days off. As you can see here, I've got my bag packed, so I thought I'd make a bit of a video tailored to maybe some of you that are just getting out into wild camping, you're not sure what to pack, and people just maybe looking for a bit of advice really on what to take. I just want to show you what I've packed for a one night wild camp. The video is not meant for people that are experienced in wild camping. You might find it boring and skip past this one if that's the case. It's aimed at people for a little bit of advice. As always, it's always subjective. It's just what I take. I'm not one of these lightweight wild campers, although lighter is a lot easier and a lot more pleasant when you're walking up mountains or big hills with heavy rucksacks on your back. It makes it that much easier, and you can arguably enjoy your surroundings a little bit more when you're not absolutely blowing for breath. But it gets you fit, makes your legs stronger, and it gets you fitter, so it's not all bad. So let's have a look at this one, and if you get something from the video, all the better. So this rucksack, those of you that watch the channel know that I've got I love rucksacks. They are my outdoor weak spot. I love my rucksacks, and this particular one is by Fjallraven, and it is a Singy 48, and I've now got 3 side pockets which you can add on with the daisy chain webbing, which takes it to a 60 litre rucksack in total. Each of these side pockets are 4 litres in volume, and it's a 48 litre pack, so it brings it to a 60 litre pack. So I've just added this one on the front here, and I think I'll probably start with the side pockets. First of all, a note on weight. Like I say, when you're first getting into wild camping, ultralight gear is a lot more expensive, so don't be too concerned about weight. I mean, I suppose it goes down to your fitness levels and what you think is acceptable. The only way you're going to find out is to just have a go yourself. Invariably what happens is you start going, you start liking it, and then you start saving up for bits of expensive gear which are a lot lighter weight. That's generally what happens. But some people don't care about weight. This pack, it's a heavy pack, and this is a heavy bag. I carry my own water in, but I've got a Knock Vecto water bladder to test out with a water filter. I'm going to start trying to do that just to save a bit of weight. I normally take 4 litres of water for a one nighter because I'm using the water for cooking, and I have a bit of spare just in case. Water's very heavy, weighs around 1 kilo a litre, so 4 kilos just on water. So there's a massive weight saving straight away. But there you go. Let's not get too bogged down in technical details. Let's just look at what I take. For example, a one night wild camp. I'll be taking this bag as it is. The only difference is going to be whether I use the Hilleberg solo tent, which is in here, or the Nordisk Opland 3, which I've got just on the table there. I'm weighing it up. I don't know whether to take the Nordisk the first time when Matt or Walsh are coming as well. But let's start with the first side pocket on the front. What have we got? This time of year, I've just got a small midge net. Midges can make or break a camping trip. Not everyone gets bitten, but they can absolutely turn it into a nightmare, especially up in Scotland. They can really sort of ruin your enjoyment. When you're sitting outside your tent, you want a midge net and or some midge repellent at the very least. So there you go, a small lightweight midge net. I'll lay all this out in a minute so you can have a look at it, but let's just get it all out first. I've got your stove, my stove, which is the Oax Vulcan on this occasion. Got plenty of different camping stoves, but I like this one because the burner head is separate from where it attaches to the gas. You've got a hose, so you can actually have the stove on the ground, and if you're cooking inside your vestibule in your tent, it's that much more stable. The actual burner is on the floor itself. It's more stable, and it stays away from the fly sheet. Lots of people say, oh, you shouldn't cook in your vestibule. Listen, we're all adults, make your own mind up what you want to do, okay? So that's my stove for this one. I've got a small cheap windshield that you got from Amazon. It's just a couple of quid. It's not a very tall one, but because that stove burner sits on the floor, it does the job. So that's a nice combination there. That is all I've got in the front pouch. Just close that back up. Look on this side. Hopefully this is in shot, by the way, as well. It's probably going to be a one take video, but there you go. I've got a lightweight Montan Jacket. It's like a bit of a wind cheater. It packs into this small stuff sack, really small, can hook onto your belt. It just stops the wind if you're getting chilly around camp. Obviously if it was going in winter, I'd be taking much warmer jackets. And then in terms of water, it's my first bottle. It's 1,000 millilitres, a caramel water bottle. Obviously that's going to be heavy, it's going to be about 1 kilo. And just have that in the side pocket there. On to the third one, we have just got a little sandwich bag with a couple of sachet coffees in there. My beverage of choice on a wild camp. I've got a Alp kit. I think it's a 400ml titanium mug. I normally put a little bit of a sponge in there just to clean it out, and it comes in its own little carry sack. Got an MSR Titan kettle, and I've also got a sort of support that goes on the base of your gas canister, and it makes it a little bit more stable. And I've just got a little bit of a sponge in there just to clean it out. We go into the top of the pack. Got a head torch. This particular one is by Oax, who kindly sent me it to review it. It's a H1 Nova. Brilliant torch. It's got a rechargeable battery in there. Honestly, since receiving this, it's small and light, really powerful and versatile, and it's waterproof. I haven't used anything else, to be fair. I've got a few head torches, but this is my go-to head torch. H1 Nova by Oax. We go into the pack. Got some lighter weight items in the base of the lid. I've got this is what I use inside the tent for my light. It's a Goal Zero Lighthouse Micro, USB rechargeable. There's a little USB clip on the bottom there. Plug that in. It's really bright, it's dimmable, it's got a couple of different settings. It lasts for ages. Cracking bit of kit, that really small, lightweight, carabiner on the top just to hook it somewhere inside your tent. Well, that's a brilliant light. Goal Zero Lighthouse Micro. I've not used anything else since getting that. Got some midge repellent, what I was talking about earlier. Get some of that all over you, otherwise you're not going to be wanting to sit outside your tent and enjoy the views. Just a ferrocerium rod just for lighting the stove. And that's all I've got in the top there. Now we go into the main pack itself. I have another water bottle. It's another 1,000ml bottle. That's what I'll take. It's actually 2 litres of water. It's heavy, and like I say, you might want to you might want to think about taking a filter and filtering your own water. You save a lot of weight in that regard, but you've got to do a little bit more planning and make sure that you buy a water source, or you're going to be passing a decent water source. So something to bear in mind. I've always carried it in. A lot of people don't, some people do. It's just personal preference at the end of the day. There's no right or wrong answer. Gas, this is a new one I've just got from Go Outdoors. It's a little C100 cartridge. It's the extreme mix. It's just what was available. These are a little bit better in winter just due to the blend of gas which they use. You get some better performance out of it. But just one of them, that's all you need for a one night trip. We've got an Oax Compact Pillow, really small, really lightweight. Tent. Now, just on this, it's the Hilleberg Solo, and whatever tent you're using, this is actually the bag which it comes with the tent, the stuff sack. It's not the best for getting it to pack down really small. You know, you can compress it a lot more, but then, you know, a couple of minutes later it takes on air and it expands back to its normal size. You could get some bungee cord and just wrap it around there just to try and tighten it up a little bit. Or what a lot of people do, and I have done it on occasion, is just get you know, a dry bag and take the tent out, stuff it down, put it in the dry bag and compress it down. So in short, you're storing the tent inner and the fly sheet separately from the poles and the pegs. You know, you can put the poles in your bag and you can get it a lot smaller than that. You know, I've just chosen not to do it on this occasion, but it's something to bear in mind. Are you going to keep your tent in the bag it came with, or are you going to put it separate it out? And sometimes if there's two of you, you can just split it up between you and share the weight. One of you can take the poles and the pegs, and your mate can take the fly sheet. So that's something else to bear in mind. Obviously that takes up a lot of room inside the pack, so you know, people might think that's not the best idea. Again, personal preference. Just got a little sit mat by Highlander. Really light. Sometimes you're on damp ground and you want to sit outside your tent. Well, it saves you getting a wet bum, saves your trousers, your shorts, what have you, getting wet, and you know, just makes it a little bit more comfortable, doesn't it? Got a sleeping mat, which is a Thermarest Neo-Air X-Lite. My one unfortunately has got a really slow puncture which you can't locate, so at some point I'm going to be sending this back to Thermarest in Ireland to have a look at it, because they offer a lifetime warranty. I can't locate it and I've tried, but yeah, it's really small. I like it because it's lightweight. It's really important, arguably one of the most important things, your sleeping pad or your sleeping mat. You want to get a good night's sleep, don't you, when you're wild camping? If it's windy, it's quite hard to sleep because of the noise inside your tent. These are expensive, and I think it's worth paying a little bit more money for a sleeping mat which packs down small and is going to keep you warm, insulated from the cold ground and comfortable. There's lots of different makes out there. I just use Thermarest, but there's lots of different alternatives. This is the particular one that I use, and it works well, apart from the fact it's got a small puncture. So I will be sorting that out in due course. That's my sleeping pad. Sleeping bag on this occasion, it's a really cheap one. This cost me £10 from Asda, which is a big supermarket here in the UK. Probably equivalent in the US, if anyone's watching from America, is Walmart. It's a warm weather bag. It's really small though, so it doesn't take up much room. It's not the most lightweight, but you know, if you're wild camping in summer and mild autumn days and spring, you can get away with this. You don't need a bigger, bulkier sort of down bag. This is synthetic. It only cost me a tenner. Again, you can spend hundreds of pounds, can't you, on sleeping bags, but if you're just starting out and you go to this time of year, £10, that's all it cost. See if there's anything else. We've got a first aid kit, really important if you're out wild camping in the middle of nowhere, especially if you're on your own. You can have some kind of mishaps around camp, cut yourself. You want some basic items in there. So it's got plasters, bandages, little eye wash, sterilisation tablets for water, painkillers. You know, you get a headache, you've got no painkillers, just things like that. Anti-allergy tablets. I suffer from hay fever. Sometimes when you're up amongst the grass, there's lots of pollen around, so again that can sort of ruin your evening unless you've got some hay fever tablets, so keep them in there as well. And yeah, so always take a first aid kit with you. What else have we got? We've got a long handled spork. I've gone for the long handle version. I've got a couple of these because moving on to the subject of food, this is a dehydrated meal. In this particular instance, it's a minced beef hot pot from Adventure Food. It's really nice, this one. I've had it loads of times. It's really lightweight, just dehydrated, and it fills you up. It's got loads of like mashed potatoes in there, minced beef, some nice vegetables. I've got the long handled spork just to get into the bottom of the pack. It saves getting your hands dirty. If you've got a smaller one, you know, you've got your hands halfway into the pack just to reach to the bottom of it. So there you go. You can get to the bottom of your food pouch with that. And I think that is it. Now, ordinarily I would take a few craft beers as well, so I've got lots of spare room there in the pack. So that, I mean, these are the basics really, and you know, you're going to go have a nice comfortable night wild camping. I've got more room in the side pouches, so you could take a few beers, a bottle of wine if you were that way inclined, a little hip flask with some whiskey in, or of course if you don't drink, well, you know, you've got your tea and coffees and whatever you want to drink on your camp. So that is all the basics really. You need a sleep mat, a sleeping bag, a pillow. You don't have to have a pillow, because you can also use, for example, your jacket, just stuff that inside a stuff sack, fold it up and sleep, put your head on that. You know, just improvise if needs be, but you don't need to spend the earth. This is an expensive pack, but I've been doing it for years and I've sort of upgraded my equipment over time. When I first started out, I had a cheap pack from Aldi, but which absolutely did the job. So that's it really. I hope you found this video useful. If you have, please do take the time just to give it a quick thumbs up. It does help me out on YouTube, and I would really appreciate that if you did it. If anyone's new to MCM Outdoors, please also consider subscribing. There's a huge back catalogue, and you know, hopefully there's something amongst that which you would enjoy. There's a group on Facebook if you want to join it. It's a friendly group full of like-minded people, and we share all things great outdoors, and it's full of a wealth of knowledge and experience. So come and join us over in our Facebook group as well. And also on Instagram, MCM Outdoors. Got a Twitter feed as well, so just have a little look at our social media channels, and if you fancy joining us, just come and pop along, that'd be great. So that's it. I'm going to get this all packed back up, waiting for my next day off, and hopefully the weather's going to be a little bit better, and I can't wait to get back out in the hills. So my only question in the meantime is, do I take the Hilleberg or do I take the Nordisk, which actually packs down a bit smaller and lighter, believe it or not, and it's a 3-person tent. Let me know in the comments below, shall I take the Hilleberg or shall I take the Nordisk, which Matthias kindly sent. Thanks very much for watching. I'll leave the outro just to show some of this equipment in a little bit more detail, and go and enjoy yourselves in the great outdoors. It's what it's all about: fresh air, relaxation, taking it all in, and look after the environment and respect it. Take care everyone.